Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about Zeppetta and give a few tips for new players or those who want to start playing as her. Zeppetta is a very difficult character to learn, but I think that she is one of the most fun characters in the entire game if you know how to use her. Let's start by talking about team composition. Zeppetta goes well with support characters that can give her opportunities to hit opponents like Alice or Octavia, since she has some trouble hitting opponents due to her short range. She has some difficulty carrying a game however, and therefore also does well with other hard-hitting legends like Master Cat or Snow. She also has a secret synergy with Goldie, who can heal Zeppetta with her graffiti due to her multi-hit basic attack. For her matchups, she is good against characters with slow attacks like Kaiser, but is very bad against characters that outrange her like Rambert and those that can throw her around like Courtney. She is surprisingly good against long-range characters such as Hook and Flare due to her aerial skill. And speaking of skills, let's talk about those now. Her basic attack is good on the ground and hits multiple times, but is basically useless in the air. It is always better to use her aerial skill instead of her basic attack. Her grounded skill combos into her basic attack, allowing Zeppetta to stun opponents and hit them away from her. Due to how short her attacks are, it is good to use her skill to approach opponents, stunning them and dealing tons of damage. It can also be used to juggle mid-air enemies. In the air, this same skill is useful as a get away from me tool to push opponents away from the point. It hits twice, the first stunning and the second launching opponents down and forward. I always use this in the beginning of a match to give opportunities to my teammates. Her ultimate is very interesting, as it has two modes, Sledgehammer and Anal Destroyer. The first mode is useful for pushing and throwing opponents around. It significantly raises her range and has quite high horizontal knockback. It is useful, for example, for pushing opponents away from your points in team touchdown, or keeping them away from theirs when capturing. Due to the narrow hitbox, it is good to move away from the enemy temporarily to line up your shot before attacking. If what you want is to get knockouts, however, your go-to should be the second mode, where Zeppetta inserts her entire fist directly into the opponent's rectum, a move that has insane vertical knockback and is pretty much an insta-kill if your opponent has less than full health. It is very hard to hit however, and is best used by throwing yourself into a large group of enemies and hoping it hits someone. You're left very vulnerable during both versions of her ultimate though, and enemies can hit you for lots of damage if you miss. As for her abilities, I personally use I'll disassemble you and frontal breakthrough, but I really do recommend you experiment and figure out what works for you. If you want to play a character that is hard to master but feels very fun to play, I would recommend Zeppetta all the way. Good luck when you play her, you will need it.